let's do another Just Flying video, shall we? I said in the last one of these, it came up about going to XNZOR Otira, and I thought leaving from here at XNZAV Arnold Valley made sense for more than one reason, which I'll expand on the way. And I thought we'd drag out the default King Air for this one. Never really got on with this aircraft. Yeah, it's okay. Don't know why, just never really got as much fun out of it as I do with some other planes, but I'll take it for a flight occasionally. Okay, we're up. So yeah, you know how sometimes there are twin towns, or sister cities I think they're called for bigger places. Here where I live in Birmingham, we're apparently twinned or sistered with a few European places like Frankfurt and Leipzig and Milan, but also further afield as well. Chicago in the USA and Guangzhou in China. Never really understood what all that's about, really. Yeah, we don't have a day to celebrate our partnership with Guangzhou. The Guangzhou Tourist Board don't have adverts on TV. In fact, you can't even get a direct flight from Birmingham to Guangzhou. The whole twinning thing just seems totally pointless to me, but well, it is what it is. But for something that does have at least some sort of connection, I thought this flight today would be good, as the location isn't too bad for a video length, but also because Arnold Valley and Otira are sort of twinned as airports. Yeah, they've got something in common. As rather than looking on a map or anything else with both of these, I actually just flew past one day and noticed a long thin bit on the ground that looked like it might be a runway, and then decided to build a scenery there. So with Otira, on closer inspection, the area of grass that I was looking at, that isn't actually a runway at all, but it looked like it could still be a fun place to build an airfield anyway, and so I did. With Arnold Valley, where we've just left, that does look a lot more like it's a real place, and most likely I'm guessing it is a genuine little private airstrip, but I've never managed to confirm that. So again, they're twinned, as one of them is definitely a fantasy airfield, and there's a possibility the other one might be as well. Just looking down here, there's another little airfield down there, Takinga, which definitely does exist. That one is a real place. There we go. Yeah, just not particularly big, so don't go there in a large aircraft, but most GA things are going to be fine. Yeah, I've landed a Baron there, so it's not too bad really. And we'll just follow the valleys from here. Could go up and over things as the weather is okay, plenty of visibility. Well, that is something I once thought of, as I usually fly with real world weather set, so X-Plane downloads some genuine data for winds, clouds, etc., and injects it into the game. However, this is South Island in New Zealand, and I live in Guangzhou's twin city of Birmingham in England. So if I have a flight during the day, I mean the real life day for me, then I'm flying with nighttime weather. Yeah, because this plane right now and the guy flying it are on opposite sides of the world, aren't we? Yeah, it doesn't bother me, as you've probably worked out long ago that I don't really do realistic flights and demand realistic conditions. So all that the real world weather actually does is give me something a bit different to look at each time I fire up the sim, so yeah, that's nice. So the offset, which I believe is plus 13 hours, yeah, that bothers me about as much as being twinned with Guangzhou does. Well, actually, there's a thought. As New Zealand is, I believe, plus 13 hours on Greenwich Mean Time where I am, I'm actually flying in the future weather, aren't I? It's still 13 hours until this actually happens for me. Shut up with your ground proximity warnings. Yeah, 13 hours for me, or about 6 hours 23 minutes according to my oven. Never worked out how to set the clock on that. Although I never used the clock on it, so I'd just let it do its own thing. So if you can warm up my Guangzhou style chicken wings, that's all I need from you. If you then want to live in a different time zone to everybody else, you go for it, my little cubed metal thing with a glass door and some knobs. Which actually, that kind of reminds me, I've heard one of those stupid things the other day. Yes, it's cold outside, so I live in a warm box to protect me from the cold outside. And then inside the warm box, I have a cold box to keep my food in to protect it from the warm box, which is protecting me from the cold outside. Yeah, I know it's not that great, but it kind of amused me a little bit. Do a right into this valley. See what other ground proximity warning things we can set off. Do a right down there, and that's actually where the airfield is, a little bit farther on. Never brought a king hare to here at Otira, largely as I rarely fly it, but I think we should be okay. Bit of an interesting approach. Trees and buildings to clear. But yeah, once you are down, there's enough space to get stopped. Yeah, this thing has reversers as well, doesn't it, which will help. Or second guessing myself now, as it's been a long time. Yeah, I'm sure it does have reversers, doesn't it? Well, I'll be able to answer that question for certain in not very long from now. River and everything just turns a little bit to the left, and the secret with this one is the area of grass, which isn't a runway but it is now. That's actually right next to the railway, so if we follow this railway line in, that should be perfect. And then towards the end of the runway, I think it might actually be a large house, but as I'm building a fantasy place anyway, I thought it looked better to have more of a shared little industrial unit kind of thing, flying past that on your last few seconds in the air. That's quite nice visually. It's better than a house that was slightly off to one side. Go then. keep following this railway. See the little gap in the trees. We need to do a slight left turn for our last second line up. Yeah, and there's the building that was once a house. And then, jeez, oh for God's sake. I think I just stalled then, didn't I? And we now have one engine. Oh, fucking brilliant. Oh, crap. Yeah, that was a last second stall into the runway, I believe. Yeah, and hard enough to ground the props, kill another engine. You kind of expect that from these videos now, me not finishing with the same amount of engines that I started with. Great. Yeah, that'll do then. Yeah, I'm off to the Guangzhou takeaway next to the railway station there to get a Guangzhou chow mein and a fire extinguisher. I'll see you soon. Bye.